The USS Odyssey drifted silently through the vast emptiness of Sector ZR-47, the uncharted reaches of space that human maps barely acknowledged. The hum of the ship's engines was the only constant, as Captain Elena Marks sat in the command chair, eyes fixed on the flickering screens that displayed streams of incoming data. The crew moved efficiently around the bridge, but the atmosphere was tense. An unspoken awareness that this sector was different from any they had explored before. Suddenly, the ship's communications console began to beep urgently, a series of signals appearing on the main display that none of the crew had ever seen. The signals were encrypted, irregular, almost musical in their pattern, yet unmistakably artificial. Science Officer Dr. Meera Patel leaned over her console, eyes narrowing as she analyzed the complex waveform. "Captain, this isn't random cosmic noise. It's definitely intelligent in origin," she said, her voice calm but laced with excitement. Commander Jason Lee stepped forward, scanning the data with practiced precision. "The signal is coming from a planet, but not from anywhere on our charts. This region has always been considered unreachable. Even light probes couldn't survive past the gravitational anomalies here," he explained. A murmur of disbelief passed through the crew. The impossible was speaking to them, and it had chosen this moment. Captain Marks stood slowly, her fingers brushing the armrest of her chair. "Set a course for the origin of that signal," she ordered firmly. "We're going in, despite the warnings." Murmurs of concern echoed from the bridge crew, some anxious about the unknown dangers, others exhilarated by the opportunity. Engineer Cole Rains turned from the engine console, adding, "The ship is ready, but this sector, it's unpredictable, Captain. The risks are high." Marks nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. She knew the mission could change humanity's understanding of the universe forever. As the Odyssey adjusted its trajectory, the view outside the bridge transformed. Distant stars stretched into streaks of light, and colorful nebulae swirled in impossible formations. The crew stared at the spectacle, feeling both awe and fear. Every sensor reading seemed to defy their understanding of physics. Energy spikes appeared on the monitors, gravity waves that danced around the ship unpredictably. Yet the humans pressed forward, using their technology and experience to navigate the dangers. They relied on intuition as much as science. Every maneuver precise, every calculation critical. During the tense journey, Dr. Patel decoded fragments of the signal, revealing hints of advanced technology. "This isn't just a message, Captain. It's a map of some kind, showing coordinates and energy signatures," she said. The crew's excitement grew, a tangible electricity filling the air. Captain Marks paced slowly, considering the implications. "If we follow this, we could discover something no human has ever seen," she said quietly, the weight of responsibility heavy on her shoulders. The crew understood. They were not just explorers. They were ambassadors for all of humanity, venturing into the unknown with courage and discipline. The Odyssey crossed invisible thresholds in space, entering zones where instruments flickered and sensors struggled. The ship shuddered as unknown forces tested its hull, but the humans adapted, adjusting shields, calibrating thrusters, and navigating through spatial anomalies. Their teamwork and resilience became a testament to human ingenuity. For the crew, fear and wonder coexisted. Each passing moment brought them closer to planet Cytherion, the source of the impossible signal, the planet that should not have been reachable, yet called to them like a beacon. Hours turned into days, yet the crew remained focused, sharing small moments of humor and camaraderie to relieve the tension. Captain Marks checked on every officer personally, offering words of encouragement. The bridge became a place of disciplined anticipation. Every eye glued to the displays as the signal grew stronger and more coherent. Finally, as the Odyssey approached the outer limits of the signal's origin, the planet came into view, a glowing sphere of strange energy and colors, unlike anything they had ever imagined. Even the most seasoned crew members gasped, understanding the magnitude of what lay ahead. The Odyssey was on the verge of history. Humanity had answered a call from the impossible, guided by a signal from a planet no one had ever reached. The crew braced themselves, knowing the journey ahead would test every skill, every decision, and every ounce of courage they possessed. Yet within that uncertainty lay the thrill of discovery, the chance to prove that humans could not only survive the impossible, but master it. And they were ready to take that first step. The Odyssey sailed deeper into sector ZR47, a region of space so remote that human charts barely acknowledged its boundaries. Strange cosmic phenomena surrounded the ship, glowing nebulae twisting like ribbons in the darkness, and unpredictable gravitational waves rippling through space. The crew worked tirelessly to monitor the ship's systems, aware that one mistake could mean disaster. Commander Jason Lee and engineer Cole Rains spent hours adjusting the shields to withstand the fluctuating energy fields, while Dr. Meera Patel analyzed the readings of radiation bursts that defied human understanding. Every officer on board felt the tension, but also a sense of exhilaration. Humans had never ventured this far, and every moment was a test of skill and courage. Captain Elena Marks sat in her command chair, observing the crew and the stars beyond the viewports. She understood that leadership in these moments was about calm decision-making. Every course correction, every shield adjustment, every sensor calibration depended on her judgment. The crew trusted her implicitly, knowing she would guide them safely through the chaos. As the Odyssey entered a zone of particularly violent spatial distortions, the ship shuddered violently, alarms blaring. Crew members moved quickly to secure equipment and check systems, their training and teamwork turning what could have been panic into efficient action. Energy storms crackled around the ship, their colors unlike anything seen before. Shimmering waves of blue, green, and violet light danced across the ship's hull. Dr. Patel was fascinated. "These phenomena, they aren't natural," she said, eyes glued to her console. "There's a pattern here, some kind of intelligence guiding the energy flows." The crew exchanged astonished glances. Even in the dangerous environment, their curiosity and determination pushed them forward. Humans were explorers, and the impossible had become a challenge to overcome rather than a threat. As the Odyssey pressed onward, a massive gravitational anomaly loomed ahead, pulling at the ship's engines and threatening to drag them off course. Captain Marks coordinated with Commander Lee, giving precise commands to navigate the anomaly safely. Every thruster adjustment, every change in vector had to be exact. The crew moved in harmony, the ship responding to their skillful teamwork. Hours passed like minutes as they threaded through the invisible forces. The tension aboard was high, but so was the focus, and the human mind thrived on such challenges. During a brief calm, Dr. Patel managed to extract small fragments of the signal from planet Cytherion. The patterns grew clearer, revealing hints of alien technology and energy signatures far beyond anything humans had developed. The crew was awed, realizing the signal was guiding them, almost as if the planet itself wanted to be found. Captain Marks allowed herself a small smile, thinking of the responsibility they carried. The journey was dangerous, but the potential reward was immense, a discovery that could change human history forever. As days passed, minor malfunctions began to appear from the strain of traveling through such chaotic space. Engineer Rains worked tirelessly, repairing systems and recalibrating the engines to withstand the anomalies. Even when exhausted, the crew never faltered. Their determination and perseverance reflecting the human spirit that had carried explorers across Earth for centuries and now into the stars. Each success, no matter how small, built confidence. And the crew knew they could face even greater challenges ahead. Captain Marks often walked the corridors of the Odyssey, speaking with crew members personally, offering encouragement and sharing in their awe of the strange, beautiful, and sometimes terrifying universe around them. Crew morale remained high despite the dangers, fueled by a shared purpose and the understanding that they were part of something extraordinary. Each star, each burst of energy, reminded them that the human race had always sought to go beyond the known, and now they were living that truth in real time. Finally, after navigating countless anomalies and surviving the relentless challenges of Sector ZR47, the Odyssey emerged from a particularly chaotic storm. The planet Cytherion appeared faintly on the sensors, a glowing orb of energy and possibility. Its light refracted in the energy storm, creating a dazzling spectacle. The crew stood silently at their stations, understanding that they were witnessing the impossible. Humans had reached a place thought unreachable. Their journey through the edge of known space had not only tested their skills, but also reaffirmed their courage and ingenuity. As the Odyssey approached the orbit of Cytherion, Captain Marks gave the order to prepare for initial scans and reconnaissance. The crew worked efficiently, adjusting instruments and sensors, excitement and anticipation mingling with caution. Every reading brought new questions and mysteries. The humans were on the threshold of discovery, poised to encounter phenomena beyond their imagination. Their journey through the chaotic edge of space had shown that no matter how dangerous or strange the universe might be, humans had the resilience, intelligence, and courage to face the unknown and thrive. The Odyssey drifted closer to planet Cytherion, a world that had long existed in legends and impossible theories. Its surface glowed with strange iridescent colors, shimmering in ways that no human eyes had ever seen. Captain Elena Marks leaned forward in her chair, scanning the planet's readings alongside Dr. Mira Patel and Commander Jason Lee. Every sensor was pushed to its limits, energy spikes and gravitational anomalies dancing across the consoles. The atmosphere itself seemed alive, fluctuating with unpredictable energy waves, making even simple scans a challenge. As the crew studied the planet, they noticed structures towering across the landscape. Massive towers of unknown material rose like needles into the sky, their surfaces pulsating with light and energy. They appeared both alien and intelligent, impossible in design, yet strangely harmonious. Dr. Patel analyzed the readings. These structures are not natural. Captain, the material, the energy, it's beyond anything humanity has ever encountered, she said, awe in her voice. Commander Lee added. And their patterns, they're intentional, as if designed to communicate or guide. The Odyssey moved carefully, sensors scanning for entry points and safe landing zones. The energy fields surrounding Cytherion were like nothing humans had ever faced. Fluctuating shields and gravity waves threatened to push the Odyssey off course, but engineer Cole Rains skillfully adjusted the ship's engines and stabilizers, allowing them to hover near the planet's surface. The crew felt a mixture of fear and exhilaration. They were standing on the edge of the impossible, a place that was never meant for human discovery. Every instrument reading confirmed the truth. Cytherion was real, alive with energy, and filled with intelligence far beyond humanity's current understanding. Captain Marks ordered the deployment of probes, small autonomous drones designed to gather data without risking the ship. The drones descended into glowing valleys, past crystalline towers and rivers of shimmering liquid. Each reading revealed complex energy patterns, unusual magnetic fields, and structures that seemed to move subtly, as if responding to the probes. Dr. Patel and her team worked quickly to decode the signals. Discovering sequences that resembled advanced technological schematics, the humans realized they were not just observing the planet, they were being observed. As the crew continued their survey, strange phenomena occurred. Energy bursts shot into the sky, forming geometric patterns that changed constantly. The planet seemed aware of the humans' presence, reacting in ways that were both mesmerizing and unsettling. Commander Lee commented, "It's as if Cytherion itself is alive, capable of thought or awareness." The Odyssey hovered cautiously, shields ready, engines humming, while the crew documented every anomaly, knowing that they were witnessing something that could redefine human understanding of life, intelligence, and the universe. Hours passed as the probes returned with more astonishing data. Structures deeper within valleys emitted energy pulses that could potentially power entire human colonies for centuries. The composition of the materials was unlike anything found on Earth, capable of withstanding extreme forces and bending light in impossible ways. Dr. Patel theorized that these materials could be a form of advanced energy storage or a communication network spanning the planet. Captain Marks felt a sense of both pride and responsibility, understanding the implications of such a discovery for humanity. Suddenly, one probe transmitted a live image of what appeared to be an entrance, a massive structure with flowing energy patterns forming an archway. The surface pulsed as if inviting them closer. Dr. Patel exclaimed, "Captain, this could be a gateway, a facility built by an advanced civilization." The crew stared in awe, feeling a mixture of excitement and caution. Captain Marks gave the order to approach, carefully navigating the Odyssey around magnetic anomalies and energy surges. Each movement was deliberate, the ship responding to the unpredictable forces surrounding the planet. As the humans neared the structure, they could see intricate designs etched into its surfaces, patterns that resembled languages but were clearly not human. The energy surrounding the structure hummed with intensity, almost communicating through light and vibration. Commander Lee noted, "Whatever built this, it was aware of our presence and possibly waiting for us." The crew felt the weight of their discovery, realizing they were the first humans to encounter something truly alien, something that challenged every assumption about the universe and humanity's place within it. Captain Marks addressed the crew. "We are here to observe, understand, and respect. We do not know what awaits inside, but we must proceed with caution." The humans prepared for potential contact, adjusting equipment, reviewing safety protocols, and readying themselves for whatever mysteries Zytherion might reveal. The planet shimmered below them, alive and impossibly vast, promising knowledge and danger in equal measure. The crew of the Odyssey understood that they had stepped into a chapter of history no one had ever written before. Every reading, every anomaly, and every pulse of energy reinforced the same truth. Zytherion was not just a planet, it was a challenge, a puzzle, and an opportunity. The impossible had become real, and humanity stood at the threshold of discovery, ready to take the first steps into a realm that defied comprehension. The excitement, fear, and awe mingled in the hearts of the crew. Their journey had brought them to the impossible, and what lay ahead could change everything they thought they knew about the universe. As the Odyssey hovered near the glowing structures of planet Zytherion, a sudden shift in energy rippled across the surface, drawing the crew's attention. Lights formed patterns in the sky, pulsating rhythmically as if communicating. Dr. Mira Patel and Commander Jason Lee stared in disbelief, realizing that the signals were not random, but intelligent. Captain Elena Marks gave the order to maintain position while sensors recorded every detail. The energy waves grew stronger, converging into a beam that pointed directly toward the ship. Then, before the eyes of the crew, a figure appeared, a being of pure energy with shifting shapes and colors, commanding the space around it effortlessly. The alien introduced itself as Thalrion, the commander of the Zytherians, a species that had mastered forms of energy manipulation humans could barely imagine. Communication began slowly, not through words, but via thought and visual patterns projected directly into the minds of the crew. It was both disorienting and fascinating. Captain Marks felt the alien's presence not just as signals, but as a wave of intelligence that seemed to probe their thoughts gently. Dr. Patel quickly worked to interpret the signals, translating the alien patterns into data the crew could understand. Thalrion revealed that the Zytherians had been observing humanity for decades, noting the growth, adaptability, and courage of the species. The energy being conveyed respect and curiosity, expressing amazement that a species so young in the galaxy could reach a planet deemed unreachable. Commander Lee marveled. "They've been watching us, testing our capabilities without our knowledge." The humans realized they were being evaluated, not threatened. The alien's presence was both a greeting and an invitation, a test of intellect and morality. Captain Marks carefully initiated communication, projecting human thought patterns and intentions. She explained their mission, the purpose of their journey, and humanity's desire for knowledge. Thalrion responded with intricate sequences of light and energy, showing humans glimpses of their technology, methods of energy manipulation, interstellar propulsion systems, and structures capable of withstanding impossible forces. The crew's minds raced with the implications, realizing the Zytherians' achievements far surpassed anything humans had ever imagined. The Odyssey crew explored the planet cautiously under Thalrion's observation, sending probes into glowing towers and rivers of energy. The aliens seemed pleased with their methods, showing approval through waves of color and thought. Dr. Patel noted that the Zytherians were teaching indirectly, allowing the humans to observe and deduce principles rather than handing over information directly. It was a lesson in intelligence and patience, demonstrating that advanced civilizations measured not only technological skill, but ethical and creative thinking. Tension mixed with awe as the humans attempted to understand the alien communication fully. Some energy patterns conveyed warnings about misuse, showing disastrous consequences if knowledge was applied carelessly. Captain Marks emphasized discipline and observation, reminding the crew that their responsibility was immense. They were not only explorers, but ambassadors of the human species. The success or failure of this interaction could influence how Zytherians perceived all of humanity. Hours passed as the humans learned small but profound truths from Thalryon: principles of energy fields, space-time manipulation, and interstellar navigation were introduced indirectly. The crew experimented carefully, noting patterns and testing theories. Each discovery pushed their understanding beyond known physics. Commander Lee remarked, "Every action here teaches us something about patience, collaboration, and the power of thought." The humans realized that learning from an advanced species required humility as much as intelligence. Captain Marks held meetings with her officers, analyzing every observation, comparing human technology with Zytherian possibilities. She emphasized caution, ensuring that no impulse of ambition would endanger the crew or the planet. Dr. Patel and Engineer Rains collaborated to replicate small energy manipulations safely within the Odyssey's systems, creating a bridge between human technology and alien principles. Each success boosted morale, confirming that humans were capable of understanding even the most complex alien concepts. By the end of the first full day of contact, the humans had gained not only knowledge, but insight into the Zytherians' values, recognizing that intelligence without ethics could be destructive. Thalryon seemed satisfied with their initial conduct, communicating approval through flowing waves of light and energy. Captain Marks and her crew felt the weight of history pressing upon them. They were the first humans to converse with an alien intelligence of such magnitude, bridging species across the galaxy. The Odyssey remained near the structures of Zytherion, fully aware that this encounter was only the beginning. Humanity had not only made contact, but had demonstrated courage, curiosity, and the ability to understand beyond words. The crew prepared for the trials and lessons that lay ahead, knowing that every choice, every observation, and every experiment would shape their relationship with the Zytherians. The impossible had come alive, and humans were proving they could rise to meet it. Thalryon observed the Odyssey crew carefully, and after the initial contact, the Zytherian commander introduced a series of trials designed to test humanity's intelligence, morality, and teamwork. Captain Alina Marks gathered her officers and explained that these challenges would not only measure skill, but also character. Commander Jason Lee, Dr. Mira Patel, and Engineer Cole Rains prepared themselves mentally and physically, knowing that failure could mean losing the chance to learn from the Zytherians. The first challenge began almost immediately as energy gates on planet Zytherion opened, revealing a labyrinth of glowing paths suspended above rivers of pulsing light. The humans navigated the labyrinth carefully, each step requiring precise timing and coordination. Sensors detected fluctuations in the pathways, which changed direction or collapsed entirely if approached carelessly. Commander Lee led the team, issuing commands and guiding the crew through shifting routes. Dr. Patel analyzed the energy patterns, predicting safe paths, while Engineer Rains adjusted their magnetic stabilizers to maintain balance. Every mistake had consequences, and every success reinforced their confidence. The labyrinth seemed designed to test observation, collaboration, and patience simultaneously. Once they successfully navigated the labyrinth, a new challenge appeared. A complex puzzle that required understanding and manipulating alien energy flows. Streams of light moved like rivers, intersecting in intricate patterns. The crew had to redirect the energy to activate ancient mechanisms embedded in the planet's surface. Dr. Patel theorized patterns and tested hypotheses, adjusting streams cautiously, while Lee and Rains coordinated physical movements to interact with the structures. Captain Marks oversaw the process, encouraging careful experimentation rather than impulsive solutions. It was a test of intellect and human ingenuity, forcing them to combine thought, observation, and action seamlessly. During the next trial, the humans were faced with extreme environmental hazards, including sudden energy storms that generated intense heat and unpredictable gravitational shifts. The Odyssey remained in orbit while drones surveyed the dangerous areas, relaying real-time data to the crew. Jason Lee coordinated the operations, carefully timing movements and signals to avoid accidents. Dr. Patel calculated risks, adjusting their approach with each new variable. The hazards were not just physical. They tested courage, composure, and decision-making under pressure. The humans learned to rely on each other and trust their training, knowing that teamwork would determine success or failure. As the trials progressed, Thalryon introduced moral challenges, scenarios where the crew had to make choices that tested ethics and empathy. In one simulation, an energy anomaly appeared to threaten a life form. The humans had to decide whether to intervene, risking mission failure, or leave it to natural forces. Captain Marks discussed options with her officers, emphasizing the importance of moral responsibility alongside technical skill. They chose to save the life, demonstrating compassion and understanding. Thalryon observed closely, sending pulses of approval through energy patterns, signaling recognition of humanity's ethical capacity. The final trial combined all elements: intellect, physical skill, and morality. The crew had to navigate shifting terrain, redirect energy flows, and make critical ethical decisions simultaneously. Each officer contributed their expertise: Marks coordinating strategy, Lee managing maneuvers, Patel solving complex energy equations, and Rains adjusting mechanical systems. Mistakes were costly, but careful observation and collaborative problem-solving allowed them to succeed. The humans discovered that the trials were designed not just to challenge, but to teach, emphasizing the harmony of knowledge, action, and ethics. Throughout the trials, the crew grew closer, sharing moments of tension, relief, and triumph. Captain Marks frequently reminded them of their responsibility, that their behavior represented all of humanity. Even in the face of unprecedented challenges, the crew remained composed, adaptive, and inventive. Each test reinforced their strengths and revealed weaknesses, allowing them to learn not only from success, but also from errors. Thalryon monitored every movement, every decision, evaluating not only skill, but the essence of human character. By the end of the trials, it was clear that the Odyssey crew had met the Zytherians' expectations. They had demonstrated courage, intelligence, empathy, and collaboration under extreme conditions. Thalryon's energy pulses conveyed approval and respect, signaling that humanity was ready to learn the secrets of the planet. The crew felt pride, but remained humble, understanding that they had only taken the first steps in a relationship with a civilization far more advanced. Captain Marks reflected on the lessons learned. Success required more than knowledge. It required heart, wisdom, and teamwork. The humans prepared for the next phase, aware that the rewards awaiting them would test their ethics and imagination even further. They had proven themselves capable of the impossible, earning the trust and attention of Thalryon and the Zytherians. The trials had been a crucible, forging not only skill but character, showing that humanity's strength lay in the combination of courage, intelligence, and moral judgment. The crew of the Odyssey stood ready, knowing that the knowledge they would soon receive could transform not only their mission, but the future of all humanity. After completing the trials, Thalryon approached the crew of the Odyssey with a wave of radiant energy that filled the ship with warmth and light. Captain Elena Marks and her officers stood in awe, realizing that this moment marked a turning point in human history. The Zytherians were about to share knowledge and technology that humans had only dreamed of. Dr. Mira Patel carefully observed the patterns, noting that every pulse and wave seemed to encode information. Not as words, but as principles of energy, motion, and construction far beyond human understanding. Thalryon projected complex schematics into the ship's systems, revealing designs for quantum propulsion drives, space-time manipulation devices, and energy phase shields capable of withstanding extreme forces. Commander Jason Lee studied the schematics with a mixture of excitement and disbelief, understanding the potential of these designs, while engineer Cole Rains analyzed the materials and energy sources, imagining ways humans could replicate or adapt them safely. Every detail was astonishing, and the crew felt the weight of responsibility that came with such knowledge. The humans began experimenting cautiously, following the principles demonstrated by the Zytherians. Dr. Patel focused on decoding the energy patterns, slowly learning how to manipulate fields safely within the Odyssey, while Rains tested small-scale energy phase shields to understand their potential. Captain Marks coordinated the experiments, ensuring safety protocols were followed and encouraging careful observation rather than reckless imitation. The crew realized that this was more than technology. It was a philosophy of understanding energy, matter, and the universe itself. Thalryon emphasized that the knowledge could not be used carelessly. warning through thought patterns and energy pulses that misuse could cause catastrophic consequences. The humans absorbed these lessons, understanding that the Zytherians valued responsibility as much as skill. Captain Marks addressed her crew. We must remember that what we have learned here can shape the future of humanity, and we cannot let ambition outweigh ethics. The crew nodded, recognizing that their role was not only to advance human technology, but to ensure it was applied wisely. Over several days, the crew of the Odyssey continued to study the Zytherian technology, testing small applications and documenting everything meticulously. Dr. Patel experimented with manipulating micro-energy fields, discovering new ways to generate propulsion without conventional fuel. Commander Lee coordinated the ship's systems to respond to these manipulations, and Engineer Rains adjusted hardware to integrate with alien principles safely. Each success built confidence, showing that humans could grasp even the most advanced knowledge if approached with patience and discipline. The Zytherians also revealed methods for building structures capable of surviving in extreme conditions, manipulating spacetime and storing enormous amounts of energy. The humans marveled at the simplicity and elegance of the designs, understanding that the Zytherians' technology was not just about power, but harmony and balance with the universe. Captain Marks reflected that this was a lesson in thinking beyond immediate gain, seeing the bigger picture of interstellar responsibility. Each member of the crew felt a deep sense of awe and humility, realizing that they were the first humans to witness and comprehend such advancement. As the crew worked, Thalryon guided them subtly, providing hints and corrections when mistakes occurred. The alien commander encouraged human creativity, showing that innovation was valued as long as it was balanced with caution and respect for universal laws. Dr. Patel realized that the process of learning was as important as the knowledge itself. The Zytherians were teaching humans to think in ways that transcended current science, preparing them to handle power that could alter the course of civilizations. By the final day of instruction, the crew had achieved significant progress, understanding core principles of energy manipulation and propulsion. They could simulate small-scale space-time adjustments, stabilize energy fields, and envision practical applications for human technology. Captain Marks reviewed every experiment, ensuring the crew understood both potential and limitations. The humans felt empowered, but aware that the responsibility was immense. The Odyssey had become a bridge between human ambition and Zytherian wisdom. Before the humans prepared to leave planet Cytherion, Thalryon communicated one final message, emphasizing ethics, foresight, and unity. The crew realized that this gift was not just technical, it was a philosophy, a blueprint for how advanced civilizations interact with knowledge and power. Captain Marks thanked Thalryon on behalf of humanity, promising that they would honor the trust given. The humans left the planet with a mixture of excitement, humility, and determination, knowing that the impossible had been achieved and the future of humanity had been forever transformed. The Odyssey set course for human space, carrying with it knowledge that could propel humanity into a new era. Yet, the crew understood that the true challenge was not simply having the technology, but using it wisely. The impossible gift was a test of character, as much as intellect, and humanity had proven itself worthy. Their journey was only beginning, and the lessons of Zytherion would guide them in shaping a future that honored both discovery and responsibility. The Odyssey began its journey back to human space, leaving the glowing towers and energy fields of planet Zytherion behind. Captain Elena Marks stood on the bridge, watching the stars stretch into streaks of light as the ship accelerated. The crew moved efficiently around her, adjusting systems and testing the new technologies gifted by Thalryon. Dr. Mira Patel monitored the energy phase shields, experimenting with controlled adjustments to propulsion patterns, while Commander Jason Lee coordinated the ship's navigation, ensuring every maneuver integrated the advanced Zytherian principles safely. Engineer Cole Rains worked tirelessly, calibrating the engines to respond to quantum propulsion adjustments. The humans marveled at the capabilities of the new technology, realizing that travel that once took months or years could now be accomplished in a fraction of the time. The ship responded smoothly to the subtle manipulations of spacetime, creating minor bends that allowed shortcuts through previously impassable regions. Dr. Patel recorded every reading, noting potential applications for future human missions, while Commander Lee ensured that navigation protocols accounted for the risks of such untested methods. The Odyssey glided through Sector ZR-47, once treacherous and unpredictable, now navigable thanks to the Zytherian technology. As they journeyed, the crew reflected on the experiences with Thalryon and the Zytherians, remembering the trials, the lessons, and the careful guidance. The knowledge they carried was not only technical, but philosophical, teaching them that power without responsibility could be dangerous. Captain Marks held regular meetings, discussing both the progress and implications of their experiments, stressing the importance of ethics alongside ambition. The crew understood that they were not just pioneers in technology, but also ambassadors for the human species, representing the potential and character of humanity. Small experiments became daily routines aboard the Odyssey. The crew tested quantum propulsion maneuvers in controlled environments, adjusting energy phase shields and manipulating small space-time fields around the ship. Dr. Patel discovered methods to stabilize microsingularities, while Raines developed new safety protocols for integrating alien principles into human systems. Every success reinforced confidence. But the crew remained cautious, aware that even minor errors could have catastrophic consequences. Captain Marks emphasized precision, collaboration, and careful documentation, ensuring every step advanced human understanding responsibly. Messages were sent back to Earth colonies via encrypted channels. The news of the Odyssey's discoveries spread excitement and anticipation among human scientists and explorers. Though full details could not yet be shared, the promise of advanced technology and new knowledge ignited hope. Captain Marks received updates from Earth, coordinating with the United Earth Space Authority to prepare for eventual integration of Zytherian methods. The humans felt a growing sense of responsibility, knowing that the future of exploration and civilization depended on careful stewardship of what they had learned. During the journey, the crew encountered regions of space they had previously feared, including unstable gravitational anomalies and residual energy storms. Yet with the new technology, the Odyssey navigated these areas with surprising ease. Commander Lee coordinated the ship's maneuvers, testing the limits of quantum propulsion, while Dr. Patel analyzed the anomalies to see how the energy phase shields responded. The crew began to see the practical applications of Zytherian knowledge, realizing that humanity could now reach places once deemed impossible, expanding both the scope of exploration and the understanding of the universe. Despite the technological advances, the crew remained vigilant about the ethical lessons from Thalryon. Each decision, whether navigating an anomaly or testing propulsion, was measured against responsibility and potential consequences. Captain Marks reminded the team constantly that their actions represented humanity and that the trust of the Zytherians was something to honor. The crew internalized these lessons, feeling a balance of excitement and humility, knowing that the discoveries were as much about character as about science. As days turned into weeks, the Odyssey approached the edge of known human space. The crew felt the anticipation build, realizing that the knowledge and technology they carried could transform civilization. Dr. Patel prepared detailed reports on energy manipulations. Commander Lee refined navigation procedures for quantum jumps, and Raines optimized shield operations for long-term use. Every experiment, calculation, and observation brought humanity closer to mastering the impossible. Finally, the planet Earth appeared on the main view screen. A pale blue orb of familiarity and hope, Captain Marks addressed the crew, praising their discipline, courage, and teamwork. The journey home was not just a return. It was a continuation of the lessons learned, a demonstration that humans could handle power responsibly, explore bravely, and grow intellectually and ethically. The Odyssey sailed onward, carrying not only advanced technology, but also a profound understanding of what humanity was capable of achieving. Ready to share the knowledge and transform the future of human civilization, the crew of the Odyssey understood that their journey was only the beginning. The technologies and lessons from Zytherion would change exploration forever. Yet the real achievement lay in their growth, proving that humans could rise to challenges once thought impossible. Balancing ambition with morality, intelligence with empathy, courage with caution, and knowledge with wisdom. Their journey back had confirmed that humanity was ready to step into a new era of discovery and responsibility. The Odyssey entered human space, its hull glowing faintly with the energy absorbed from planet Zytherion. Captain Elena Marks and her crew felt a mixture of relief, pride, and anticipation. The journey home had tested every skill, challenged every assumption, and expanded their understanding of the universe. Dr. Meera Patel analyzed the final readings from the ship's experiments, documenting the principles of Zytherian technology in detailed reports, while Commander Jason Lee coordinated communications with the United Earth Space Authority. Preparing to share their discoveries with human scientists and leaders, Engineer Cole Rains ensured that all new systems were stable, functioning safely, and ready for demonstration. As news of the Odyssey's return spread across colonies and Earth, anticipation grew. Scientists and officials gathered to receive encrypted updates, aware that what the crew had brought back could change the course of human civilization. Captain Marks oversaw the careful sharing of data, emphasizing both the potential and the responsibilities associated with the new knowledge. Humanity had proven capable of reaching the impossible, and the lessons of Zytherion carried both promise and caution. The crew understood that misuse of the technology could be catastrophic, while careful study and ethical application could unlock unprecedented progress. The advanced technologies introduced by Thalryon began to transform human exploration almost immediately. Quantum propulsion experiments allowed faster and safer travel between colonies. Energy phase shields were tested on habitats and starships, and new methods of space-time manipulation hinted at possibilities previously considered science fiction. Dr. Patel coordinated workshops and simulations, ensuring that the scientific community could understand the Zytherian principles, while Commander Lee helped implement protocols for practical application in exploration missions. Engineer Rains supervised the adaptation of ship systems, integrating alien energy principles without compromising human safety. Humanity itself seemed to shift as a result of the discoveries. Curiosity, courage, and collaboration became more valued than ever. Lessons learned from the trials on Zytherion reinforced that progress required responsibility, empathy, and teamwork. Captain Marks addressed international councils and scientific assemblies, emphasizing that the true gift of Zytherian knowledge was not just technology, but a framework for understanding and ethical advancement. The Odyssey crew became symbols of human ingenuity and integrity, representing the potential to meet the universe's greatest challenges with wisdom and courage. Colonies on distant planets prepared for new missions using the Zytherian principles. Teams of scientists, engineers, and explorers studied the documentation provided by the Odyssey, experimenting with quantum propulsion and energy manipulation under controlled conditions. Humans began reaching regions of space that were previously unreachable. The lessons of Zytherion guided their every move, ensuring safety while expanding the boundaries of exploration. Each success reinforced the idea that humans could achieve the impossible if they combined skill, ethics, and perseverance. Captain Marks reflected on the journey frequently, discussing with her crew the importance of leadership, decision-making, and human character. She reminded everyone that the trust placed in humanity by the Zytherians was sacred, and that every choice they made would shape how humans were perceived across the galaxy. The crew shared stories of trials, lessons, and discoveries, understanding that their experiences were not only personal, but a guide for future explorers. Their legacy would inspire generations to come, proving that courage, morality, and intelligence could overcome the impossible. Even as technology spread and exploration expanded, the philosophical lessons of Zytherion remained central. Humans learned to balance ambition with caution, innovation with responsibility, and discovery with empathy. The knowledge from the Zytherians taught that advanced power required advanced thinking, and that wisdom was as critical as ability. Captain Marks ensured that all missions using Zytherian-derived technology included strict ethical oversight, reinforcing the principle that human advancement must never sacrifice morality for achievement. The Odyssey crew also took time to mentor the next generation of explorers, sharing their experiences in both technology and ethical decision-making. Students, scientists, and young officers learned not only how to manipulate quantum energy or travel across space efficiently, but how to think critically, collaborate effectively, and approach unknown civilizations with respect and caution. Humanity began a new era of exploration, one guided as much by values as by knowledge, proving that the impossible could be reached safely and responsibly. As the story of the Odyssey spread across human colonies, Captain Marks and her crew were celebrated as pioneers. The ship itself became a symbol of human courage, ingenuity, and moral fortitude. Scientists continued to build on the Cytherian technology, expanding the reach of human civilization. Yet the true triumph lay in the demonstration that humanity could rise to challenges that once seemed impossible. The lessons of Cytherion remained a beacon, guiding humans to explore, learn, and grow, while honoring the responsibility that came with great power. By the time the Odyssey returned fully to Earth orbit, the impact of its journey was already visible. New colonies prepared for advanced missions. Scientific breakthroughs accelerated at unprecedented rates, and humanity began to see itself as a species capable of achieving what was once unimaginable. Captain Marks looked at the stars, reflecting on the adventure, the lessons, and the possibilities. The impossible had been brought back, and humanity now stood ready to step boldly into a future shaped by courage, knowledge, and ethical wisdom.